All right, this time around I have our Mika, or Rainbow Mika. She is a character from Street Fighter, and this is a figure by Bandai. It's an interesting choice for Bandai to make because I could certainly think of a lot of Street Fighter figures that are characters that are more well known than our Mika. Um, but that's who they chose to go with. Uh, some interesting design decisions here. First of all, I'm not a fan of the of her shoulders. It has some good range on it. She can reach across her body, but it's got a very weird, a very strange design to it. And it's hard for me to show exactly what I mean, but it can be a bit of a pain. You can see the big gapping in there. That's kind of weird. Um, I think that the one big design decision that is a little bit interesting. So I showed in another video Cammy, and so here's Cammy, and pardon me for intruding, but the big complaint with Cammy is the crease here on her bottom. The other problem is that you have two different skin tones. So they did things very differently with Armika. Armika is a more recent character, so she doesn't have the crease. Now, the downside of this design decision is that when she's going into her, what is it, the flying peach or whatever, when she's putting her butt forward, because it doesn't have the, so there's some gapping in there that occurs. Whereas with Cammy, that would be hidden. So I think it is a better design decision, and particularly since I do leave my figures on in a neutral stance, although I have Mika facing this way, not the other way. Although there's really no angle of Mika that isn't a bit risque. So here's Street Fighter Alpha. This is her first appearance, and she's got the two hearts on it, but she doesn't have hearts here. In Street Fighter 5, which is what this is based on, she is revealing a lot more, so no room for any hearts left on there. So I went through and I looked at my Street Fighter Alpha World Warrior Encyclopedia to refresh my memory on our Mika. And our Mika is, her name is Mika Nanakawa, and she is from Japan. And certainly when you look at her, you can only imagine who could be more Japanese looking than Mika. So it's funny. She's got the blonde hair, blue eyes, and what you might think of as Western features. But apparently this is not uncommon in Japan. That this is kind of a thing to have Japanese girls with blonde hair, blue eyes, and Western features. And even if you look in Street Fighter, just within Street Fighter, you have Karen with blonde hair, blue eyes. Now here she apparently has brown eyes, so I guess she must be wearing contacts. But she is Japanese, and her name is Karen Kanzuki. And then you have here Maki Genryusai from Japan. Now it does say in here that she is Japanese, but has dyed her hair blonde ever since her biker days. So that's kind of a thing. Now most of the Asian women in Street Fighter are brunette, but in this case, we have our Mika, who is a wrestler. It says in her bio that her hero is oh shoot, the Russian fighter, Zangief. Yeah, of course. And I do have a Zangief figure, not by Bandai, but by another company. So she's an interesting figure. I think that her design is a bit awkward, and I know that her body type is a little bit interesting, but it's not and that's not the reason, but I think that her body in general, not based on her dimensions, but is a little bit awkward. And I don't know if you can tell from looking at um, the video, but it's not my favorite figure. That's for sure of the Street Fighter figures, and it has nothing to do with our Mika in general. So I went on an Amazon just out of curiosity, and so there's our Mika, a Rainbow Mika, and he's selling for $220, which is way more than I paid. But um, I think that these figures are quite popular, and they're all well out of production. So if you want to get it, I guess you got to pay. You might be able to go on eBay and get it for a better price on the secondary market. But it's a nice figure. It's a nice figure in my collection. So there's Rainbow Mika.